leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives Live. Joey wanted to do live tonight here at Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York.
Oh, is it New York or Long Island?
Long Island, New York. Long, right by the Lure, the Lirr. Tonight, my co-host, David Letterman. Joe Napoli. Retired because he's got the beard. Did you get it? That was all day I was thinking about that. I said, Joe's going to laugh at this. And you looked at me like I was a stoonon. Looked at me like I was a stoonon. I thought it was funny. David! So thank you for being here, Joe.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Always. I love it.
I'm excited. In a few minutes, we're going to have my grandchildren and my son on because they're not going to last long sitting on his lap. So we'll do that in a few seconds. What's that? Oh! Tonight's show is brought to this. See, we don't have Richie here.
Right.
This is all Richie says all night.
Richie. Okay.
This is all he says.
All right. Well, tonight's show is brought to you by
Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. Thank you, Michael Barasch.
Thank you very much.
So tonight, this is exciting, and Bobby's going to hear it for the first time. We are going to have live horses, real horses in the studio.
Is that what I stepped in?
That's what you stepped in out there. The doors, I don't know if they're big enough. They're trying to push the horses in. So we're going to have live horses today with our first guest, Amy Lepitt. She will be coming on. Amy Lepitt. She's from Hope in Her Eyes. Wonderful organization. We're going to talk more about it in a little while. But we're trying to get the horses in the door. We don't know if we can do it. So a few things on our silly banter before we get to the kids. We'll just do a few things, guys. Hang out. Vincent and Lillian Virginia Lollapalooza Petunia LaRocchia and Vincent Frank Bachikalup LaRocchia is our guest with my son, John.
And
John.
These are two little Italian kids?
Two little kids. The Pope. We have a new Pope. We haven't been on last week. I was very excited about the... Hey, it's Johnny Pope time, Patrick McDonald. Oh, our backdrop tonight is from the 1950s, I think. Or 60s. 60s. You look at the cars. 60s.
I'm saying 60s. 60s. Definitely 60s.
This is LaRocchia's Luncheonette on Middle Village, Queens, on the corner of 78th Street and Metropolitan Avenue. This is a new picture I just discovered on Facebook a few days ago. Actually, it's a family photo. That family, somebody in the family took the picture. I forget who it was. I'll get it for next time. Bobby pulled it out tonight. It looks great, doesn't it? That's so cool. There's a firehouse right behind there. Thank you, Bobby, for throwing that up tonight. And we're going to leave it for our backdrop tonight. I like it. LaRocchia's Luncheonette.
I like it.
1960s. So the Pope. Exciting.
Leo.
Pope Leo the 8th? What is it? Pope Leo. Pope Leo. Seems like a really... Isn't it weird hearing the Pope talk English, though? Doesn't it take a little bit away from the religious mystique?
You know what I found amazing? That they found a picture of him...
At the game.
At the
World Series 2005.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And you see him screaming, "You suck!" Which was not appropriate for a Pope. But they found it. Yeah.
Amazing.
It was amazing. So we have the Pope. And I brought this joke back. The previous Pope just passed away. He didn't want to be Pope.
No, that was the Pope before that.
One of them didn't want to be Pope.
I don't want
and a lot of them don't want to be Pope. But they take it as the calling. If you picked me,
right,
I accept. God is like the Cardinals are Jesus, the Lord. Mm-hmm. So if you're calling me to be Pope, I'm going to accept. I don't want to be Pope, really. It's a lot of work. I can't go home and go to the baseball games.
No more.
But whatever, right, no more. So I said that the previous Pope, when he became Pope, this is how they got him to do it. They were at lunch, right? At lunch, having lunch, eating a little bit. And he said, "Hey, guys, where's the men's room? And they walked next to him. They said, oh, right out these 2 doors. And he came out, holy crap. Everybody's cheering. Now, how can he turn it down? He can't turn it down, right? So that's how he became Pope.
Now, this Pope doesn't want the red shoes.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
The last Pope didn't want to live in the big thing.
I would take the job just for the red shoes.
Would you?
Yeah, you see them?
I didn't see
They're
them.
nice shoes.
Yeah? Oh, he didn't put them on?
No, it's like a nice patent leather.
Why? Because they didn't have a size?
I guess, some people may think they're a little loud.
All right.
I mean...
But he is going to live in the big apartment, the 12-room with the previous Pope. He wanted to be simple. He wanted to stay in the little room. He had like one of those little refrigerators you see at the college dorms.
Really?
Had the lights, the little lights, like you see in the college dorms. Strung down. He didn't have any of that. Come on, it's the Pope. Did I have it?
Yeah.
I went to the, quick moment of silence. FDNY EMT Christina Joe McKeon from the Bureau of Training passed away off duty within the last few days.
Yeah.
And you had somebody you were to awake today.
My close friend, Bob Inslee. He was...
How'd you know him?
Bob was a fantastic man. I knew him through the Museum of American Armor.
That's right. You're very involved over there.
But Bob would just bring the story of these men to life.
Oh.
And he actually worked at the prison out here. He was a maintenance man. He did that. But once he retired, he spent most of his time at the museum. And he was just a sweetheart, such a nice guy.
This is the kids. The kids these days. Before we had all this stuff, and before when I was, that's how they used to entertain people, telling stories.
Right.
And guys like that have that expertise. It's pretty interesting to let somebody tell a story.
Yeah.
Somebody can really tell a story.
He was a great storyteller.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Now let's bring in my son, John Vincent LaRocchia. And my 2 grandchildren are Lillian Virginia Lollapalooza Petunia on the left, and Vincent Frank Botchalupskun Jill in the back there. Hey, guys. Bobby, can you make us smaller and a little bigger so we can see that beautiful... Oh, look at those kids. Look just like their grandbabs. So I'm glad you have the 2 of them on. On Facebook, I have a nice following. And a lot of people follow me because they see the videos I do with my grandchildren. And they say, oh my God, what a perfect, wonderful grandpa you are. They call you grandbabs. So I said, you know what? I feel a little guilty. Let me get a rating from the team.
Okay.
So let me start with Vincent. Vincent, does the grandbabs do everything right, or there's some things that I do kind of stinky and wrong? What do you say?
Well...
That's it. No? Go ahead. What do you got? Anything? You want to think?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Lillian, Virginia. Pick your head up. Let me see you. Lillian. Hello. How you doing? You got your jammies on?
Yeah. I got my cozy pajama.
I love them. I'm gonna come sweep on your floor tonight. I'm gonna come in there and sleep on the floor with you later. All right. So, what does Grandbabs do? Is he funny, Grandbabs? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. And what do I do? What do I do wrong?
She's a
little obsessed with herself.
So when I pick you up from school, do I do everything right? Do I bring you to the park and bring you? All right, this is how I thought this would go. Let's go to the board.
Let's go right to John.
But with Vincent, I don't know, did he mention fart or butt?
No, I told him not to.
Because usually a sentence can't go by without an 8-year-old saying fart or butt. So let's go right to my boss. I am babysit. I am his employee. How do we do with the babysitting? How does Grandbabs do?
Well, you see how she's acting, so not so great. No.
But what are the reports from your wife? What does your wife think?
You do a great job.
How do I do in the kitchen when she comes home? Do I clean the kitchen?
No, the kitchen just
not in the job description. Well, you're gonna learn this. gotta set if you're babysitting,
Yeah.
I don't do dishes windows.
Okay.
As long as she's dressed.
Listen, I don't,
I'm
learning.
I don't know if you can tell, but this kid's a LaRocca, all right? She's now getting attention, and she's loving it.
All right. Why don't you go to bed, Missy? All right, we gotta move forward here. Thank you for coming on, guys. And I will see you Thursday. Thursday, I'm on duty again. All right, Friday. Okay, Friday. Yeah, so that was a mess. That's how I thought it would go, but
all right.
we had to fill a little time there. So
okay.
Okay.
No, I've seen those videos. Very cute. You know, you do the whole McDonald's thing, and
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We go places, and I try to get funny moments. Mother's Day.
yes.
How'd that go?
Very good, very good. You know, being both my daughters had their first Mother's Day this year.
That's right. That's right.
very
Oh, that's so
exciting.
cool.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun. You're gonna love this, Grandpa. It's exhausting to watch her for the day.
Oh.
I am exhausted. In fact, yesterday we went to the park. She was playing with some other girls. I had an opportunity. I fell asleep on one of the benches down there. Yeah, two of the mothers woke me up. They said, hey, we're leaving. You want to get your granddaughter?
They cover you with a newspaper?
Yeah. But it's exhausting. You know, you think about our age now when we had kids.
How can you keep up?
When we had kids, what were you in our 30s? You had now in your 60s to watch, her, exhausting, but very rewarding. A lot of fun. We went to a fundraiser. You came with me.
This week, right? Last weekend in New Jersey.
Good time.
Great.
In fact, that's
yes.
where we met Amy Lepet coming
We
up.
did. Yes.
We met. There were 4 speakers.
Yes, there. Right.
The Navy SEAL is coming on our program next
is he?
week.
Really?
He wants me to swim. He wants me to swim and represent FDNY across the Hudson River.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about this? Because
Bring a boat.
I'm thinking I'm going to cheat in some way. I don't even want to jump in the water or
on.
swim.
What, from New Jersey to?
They swim from the Manhattan across
Yeah,
the
but
river.
they're Navy SEAls.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm doing all this stuff. Oh, an FDNY, and he goes, oh, that's you're fine. You can do it. And I'm like, all right. No, I can't.
No.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to find some way to jump in the water. They're going to get distracted. I'm going to jump in a boat.
I got an idea.
What?
On the way running down to the ocean?
Yep.
Pull a hammy.
I'm not going to go in the ocean.
Oh, come on.
Well, he's coming on next week. Bill there.
Is he listening today?
I hope not.
All right.
I hope not. So here's what we'll do. Oh, one more thing. Went to the doctor for my knee today because the last gel injection it didn't work great. I wanted to see what he had to say. He's moving around there, and this is what he says to me. You got to work on a hamstring, massage it a little. I can do a hip replacement for you right now if you want. You got to do this. Blah, 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 blah. I go, whoa. My hip's not bothering me. He goes, oh, it's really tight. It's gonna. I go, well, let's wait till it's gonna. He goes, no, I didn't say I was gonna do it right, but we could. I go, no, we can't. We're not gonna do a hip replacement.
Yeah, no.
I'll be out of pickleball for how long? 2 weeks. All right, we're gonna go to break, and we'll be right back with Amy Lepet. Why are we saying it so French?
This is personal to me. I'm John Field, 9/11 responder and advocate. I walked the halls of Congress for 20 years. You too may qualify for the same 9/11 benefits as I do. It's true, it's the law. If you were south of Canal Street and you had any of the 69 cancers linked to 9/11, you may qualify for compensation up to $250,000 and free health care. Sadly, only 10% of you have enrolled. Access what you are owed. Call now to find out if you qualify. I fought side by side with Barasch and McGarry for 2 decades in Washington, D.C. to get benefits for all victims, not just responders. You owe it to yourself to call Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. I trust them. So can you.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives live. Here. We're still trying to figure out a way to get the horse in the door. Bobby, did they figure out a way to get those horses in yet? No? All right. So we'll
Got to turn them around.
maybe back them in?
That's what I. Yeah. I
All
mean,
right, we'll
what
see.
do I know?
Listen, the bottom line is stay tuned because we may have a live horse in here soon.
What do I know about horses? Every time I saw one, there was a cop on it.
Our first guest from Hope in Her Eyes, Miss Amy Lepet. We want to say it French. We keep saying it French, Amy.
French, Lepet.
Oh my goodness, guys.
It's more like
Thank God
Lepet.
it's married name and not my maiden name. I can't imagine what we would do with Siciliano.
Yeah, right? Pull a muscle is what we would do. Amy, so we met you just 2 weeks ago at a fundraiser that I was the guest, one of the guest speakers.
Yes, he was.
We met you there. And for some reason, after speaking to us for more than 10 minutes is usually the max where people start walking away or
start
taking a
walking
phone
away.
call. She agreed to come on the show. Now, maybe it's to get us back, for something we said. I don't know. I hope not. We were gentlemen, right? We were gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. So, Amy, thank you for taking the time to do the show.
Thank you for the opportunity and having me.
Absolutely, because you're very, very. You're in our hero segment here, by the way. We have at least one hero on every week, and looking at your resume and what you're doing after speaking to you that day, you are a wonderful individual, dedicated to what you do, and we're honored to hopefully be a small part of it to raise some, to help you with your organization, let's say, by doing a comedy night. So let's start off with, what's your background? How did you get, because this is what you've been doing for 30 years, right? You had a previous career.
I did have a previous career, but I did it for a much more, I found horses for a much more important part of my life. My daughter struggled with her mental health from a very young age, and as part of her treatment, we found horses.
Okay, and you know what? Being the student that I am, and the preparation that I put in for a show, I did not know that's how you kind of got involved. That's really cool. So tell us where you took this now from that initial, this is helping my daughter.
So I was further along in my career and had rescued a number of horses that needed a job and a purpose. And something that was always a passion of mine was the military and the veteran community because of the sacrifices they make when they sign up. So I wanted to give back, and I sought out doing equine therapy for veterans and partnered with the local vet center here in Trenton, New Jersey, and started just expanding more and more on the concept of the empowerment of horses and healing and their into nature to just be so therapeutic and just get out into nature in a judgment-free environment.
Right.
Really, do some.
It's supposedly very, very powerful. I mean, they're big, strong animals. Oh. One thing that you said that made me smile a bit, because my daughter rescued a dog. I think you said you rescued a few horses. They're not like just wandering the streets somewhere, these horses. How do you rescue a horse? Is it somebody owns it and then they say, I can't take care of it anymore, or?
Yeah, in a lot of cases, and their horses are considered livestock. So there are auctions out in Pennsylvania where they auction or off horses that find themselves either out of work from a community or from a boarding facility that a horse a boarder no longer pays their fair share for their
right.
And the facility can no longer take care of them. Summer camps, There's various reasons why they end up there. Some of them are racehorses, unfortunately.
That can't race, so can't race. I see, because I was never a horse guy in my life. I grew up in Queens. I wasn't around a lot of horses. We went horseback riding in Pennsylvania once with my daughter, who had to be, she's 23 now. Let's say she was 13, 14, and these two older women. And I'd never been on a horse before. And I'm a firefighter. I was afraid of heights when I got on the job. But when I got on a horse, I'm like, oh my God, this is high. And this is some powerful animal. I wanted to get off. I was like, this is too high. And they're like, nah, you got to go. Really cool what you do. Did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I do. Are these horses on your property?
They are, yeah.
Well, so now you have, like, I guess, would you call it a ranch?
I do. I have a horse ranch. We live on 18 acres.
And it's in New Jersey?
It is.
Okay. How big is it?
I have an 18-acre property.
And all your horse activities happen on the 18 acres?
Yes.
You know what?
Very
I
nice.
don't understand what an acre is. How big?
It's a patch of earth.
No, I know that. But for our viewers, what is how big is 18 acres? Is that the size of a baseball field, a football field? Can you relate it to something? Like when I teach a class.
Okay.
It's a lot of property. I don't know the math. I need my boyfriend for his scientific brain.
All right. But it's a lot of property, right?
It is.
All right. And how many horses?
At the present moment, I have 15 horses that all participate in our programs.
Wow.
So I have 11 of my own, 10 of which are all rescues, and one was a donation.
Do you ever have like any births on your ponies?
Only that we rescued. I have not had any births on property. I don't think I can handle that. I would send them to my vet for sure.
Oh, maybe we got some pictures. Yeah, Bobby, throw a few pictures up there. What is that, Amy?
Okay, so that's our partnership with the NYPD Foundation. That's super cool. So, the NYPD has, this is part of the Bronx Giants flag football team. They came down for a wellness retreat. We did pony ride, flag football, barbecue. We make s'mores right there. That's Police Officer Rivera.
Wow. Very nice.
That's my guy Hawk. That's my thoroughbred.
Yeah. And how do horses react? You know, dogs lick your face, and how do horses react when they get to know you and they get to love you and you get close to them? What are some of the things they do?
So that's why we use horses for therapy, right? Because dogs just come up to you and lick your face, and it's unconditional no matter who you are. You could be an axe murderer, where horses require effort, so they won't engage unless they feel safe. They are fight by nature creatures. They are prey animals. So by nature, we are predators to them. So until they assess us and feel a certain presence of safety in our well-being, they won't engage with us. They have an electromagnetic field that's 5 times larger than ours, so they sense our emotions before they even engage.
A lot of work, huh? A lot of work.
It is, but it's pretty powerful and really rewarding.
So if I came out to your ranch, would there be some horses you'd say, John, avoid petting those yet or whatever? Like some of them wouldn't react to me as much as some other ones would?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
I did a retreat for a group of social workers a few weeks ago, and one of the female social workers was pregnant, and her supervisor asked how the horses would act in the situation. I said I wasn't really sure, but I knew exactly which horse that I was going to put her with, and I had a horse that had her baby taken away from her in the auction and never had an enclosure. And I put this young woman in the paddock with this horse, and that horse never left Philly. So
Wow.
they are just incredible sensory beings.
Can you give us one or two other stories, whether it be with some veterans? How you know? Obviously, we don't. You're not going to give us names, of course not. But how it really you saw a real change in this person's life because of this relationship.
The horse that you just put a picture up of, his name is Hawk. He is my thoroughbred, and he works specifically with a 6-tour combat veteran that put a gun in his mouth when his son walked in. And when he worked with Hawk and he started to take off to a bad Hawk would wrap his head around his back and like almost bite him to nibble so gently to bring him back into the present moment. And throughout that relationship, he says to this day it saved his life.
Wow, really, really cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to come down there and see some of this. Who has helped you? Like, what organizations? Are there local VFWs that kind of work with you to kind of help in some ways and run events? I see you worked with the NYPD. Do they do anything for you guys?
Yeah, they sponsor their boys to come down here to have wellness retreats. You and I talked about fundraising. They are totally on board with supporting us in that venture. I do work with the local Marine Corps League down here in Beeville at the Jersey Shore, the VFW up in Kenilworth, that center in Trenton. So I also am partnered with Bright Harbor Healthcare, which is behavioral health for addiction, and ABA Centers of America for autism and autism spectrum disorder. So really getting into the brain and sensory issues.
You ever ride a horse?
Yeah, there's a, when I was a kid, there's a big park in Brooklyn, Prospect Park. They had horses in there, and then...
They still do?
I believe they still do.
Yeah.
And then in Jamaica Bay. What I was going to ask you, are you involved with does the mounted unit with the NYPD get involved with you any which way?
No.
No, they didn't? Oh, all right.
Well, they shut you down quick there on that one. That was a quick shutdown.
Sorry, I didn't know the response to that delicately.
Amy, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to break, and my comic is not even in the room yet, so we're gonna come back and we're gonna ask you a few more questions and maybe another story or two, and talk about the comedy show.
That would be great.
All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Okay.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I have 30 seconds to give you a very important message. My name is Arthur Lee. I'm the CEO and inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that could save a life in a choking emergency. We've saved over 3,000 lives now, but we're not there. 5,000 people a year choke to death, one child every 5 days. Please consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today. Thank you for your time.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives Live. And our guest, Amy Lepet from Hope in Her Eyes. What is your title over there, Amy? What is your title?
Cook and bottle washer.
No. Are you like the CEO or the founder or?
Yes.
Founder, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what'd you do before this? What was your career prior to?
I was a wealth consultant.
Wealth. We don't know anything about wealth.
I've heard.
No, foreign to us. I mean, if you wanted to help me manage some of my money, you would laugh. So I wouldn't even attempt. But what we're going to do, Amy, is right now, just stay on the screen. We got a few fundraisers coming up, a few shows coming up that we just like to tell our audience about. So if you'd like to come, let me know. You can find them on our website, LaughterSavesLives.org. This is our show this Friday night, Williston Park Fire Department, a typical Laughter Saves Lives fundraiser for a local Volley Firehouse. We'll be there on Friday night. Headliner is Eric Haft, very, very funny. John Sandel will be on the bill, and Bridget Kavanaugh. Our next show is after that. Bridget. Oh, we're doing Sunday. Back to the Veterans Hospital at St. Albans.
At St. Albans.
Yep. This is a very rough show for the comics because most of the patients, they're older, they're on medication, they're falling asleep, but they love that we're there. These veterans deserve our best. This hospital is in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's stopping by that hospital unless you have families there, and a lot of them don't. So we're going to go by, push them down from the rooms, talk to them, and put on a little show, bring them some fruit. That's the main reason they have us there. They want us to bring the fruit.
Nice bowl of fruit.
Yeah, nice bowl of fruit. We got two more up there. Oh, D.C., we're going down to Washington, D.C. to support the Washington, D.C. EMS and Fire Foundation.
When's that?
That is on June 12th. Mets are in town. We're going to see the Met game on the 11th.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. And then they're bringing us, we're doing the show. They're taking care of the tickets at the Met game. Because if it's free, it's for me. Fireman's motto. And Bart's Brigade, Thursday, October 2nd. His son committed suicide as a veteran. And this gentleman, his dad, started this charity. Wonderful stuff for mental health. This is our third year doing it. We're heading back down to York, PA. And we're doing a bocce tournament for the first time. September 29th, Italian music, fresh mozzarella. It's going to be a ball. Come on down. We got time. Form a team. So we're back with Amy Lepet. Soon her flyer will be up there for the comedy night we're going to be doing in a barn, Amy. Right? In the barn.
Cowboy night.
The barn with horses.
Giddy up.
The horses will be making noises during the show, I hope.
Yeah.
Little heckling from the horses.
And you can ask like,
little heckling.
like why the long face.
Yeah. And the comic that bombs will have to clean up after the horses. Right?
Yeah.
Clean up after the horses. All right. So Amy, great organization. Give us one more story. One more, because we have a little more time. Can you give me another story of somebody that was totally changed or in a way from this wonderful program?
I just have a quick...
Yes, quick, go.
Is most of your therapy, it's mental therapy rather than, do you get physical therapy patients also?
Like riding them?
Yeah.
No, I focus more so on the brain and
Okay.
Yeah, that's more like physiotherapy and occupational therapy incorporated.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. The NYPD, when they came down, right, with the kids, how many kids were there?
I think we've seen about 30 or 40 so far.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you got in touch with them or they got in touch with you?
So I had the fortunate opportunity to meet Dr. Stephen Wachsel, who is the clinician who was the triage doctor at 9/11 at Ground Zero, and he still works for the NYPD to this day. He invited me to present at National Law Enforcement Wellness Day last September. And I met Officer Crystal Rivera there, and a couple of other police officers, Amy Chang, reached out, and they with inner city youth and put together flag football teams, basketball teams, all kinds of programs to be inspirational and mentor to these kids, to give them purpose and change the trajectory of their futures. And they reached out, we set up a few retreats. It was impactful for everyone involved, and it has just been something that we're committed on keeping going.
So cool. Thank you for taking the time to come on. Your website is?
HopeInHerEyes.org. We are a New Jersey nonprofit organization.
So if you want to go on the website, you want to help them in any way, check it out. And pretty soon, there'll be a Laughter Saves Lives flyer on that website, I have a feeling, Amy.
There will be.
All right, we're excited.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you,
and
Amy.
be well, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Amy Lepet. Amy Lepet. Lepet. So I don't see our comic on here yet, but we got a few more topics I wanted to bring up. And then if she's not on in a minute or two, we'll go to a break.
Okay.
And maybe I'll give her a jingle. Because I know Christy is heading home from some auditions. See, this is what I like about the LA comics. They're in movies. They're doing stuff.
Oh,
she's out in LA.
Oh.
She's in a studio right now. She's driving home.
La La
She said-
Land.
Yeah, she says she'll pull over. She's got things
Really?
going on. Comedy shows. What am I doing? I'm at home watching the Mets.
Got a baseball.
Yeah, walking the dog. What am I doing now? So pickleball night the other night. You know what? Joe, let's talk pickleball.
You didn't do the
Just for a
pickleball.
second. Yeah, let's talk pickleball. And pada bing! We didn't break anything tonight. So he usually does the break. So we went 3-2 this week, Bridget and I. Bridget, Kavanaugh and I. The girls didn't do their show tonight, but Bridget was feisty on that court.
I saw a short little clip.
No,
that was before?
Yeah, we played one or two teams where, had to hold it back a little bit. I think she wants to jump in then. Pada bing!
I think I saw the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, she can beat them. So we
think I
played
saw
two
it.
teams that weren't that good. We beat them easily. We played another team, pretty good. We beat them. And then we played two pretty good teams where we got our butts kicked pretty much. And we've beaten these teams, I think, before. The one team we lost 11-6 or 7. The other one we lost 11-2 was our first game. But Bridget always comes in cold. She comes in, she doesn't stretch, she comes from work. She works hard, I understand.
Yeah.
But she walks onto the court. So I think that first game is almost like a warm-up game for us.
gotta
So, I'm afraid of her. I can't tell her to stretch. I'm afraid. She's feisty.
She's intimidating.
I want her on my team.
A little bit.
I want her on my team. I don't want her on the other team. So there was a few other topics that I could talk about.
Oh,
up
they
front.
opened up a new pickleball place in
I heard.
my neighborhood.
I heard.
My neighborhood, the neighborhood. Yeah, indoor pickleball.
Very original name.
Indoor pickleball.
That's the name of the place. Indoor pickleball.
Indoor.
Brooklyn. Indoor pickleball.
Rockaway, right?
Oh, they went all out.
Oh, yeah.
Rockaway.
Because first they had 2 courts.
Right.
Right, first they had 2 courts.
Right.
Right by the beach.
Nice. Cut 1 second. I forgot about this. Amy brought the horse in. Let's go back to Amy. I forgot about this.
Oh, don't.
Oh,
There it is.
Yes.
Say hi,
Nice.
Auntie.
What is that? And which horse is this? Is this Hawk?
This is Gypsy.
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 Gypsy. Will Gypsy come? Gypsy. No, right?
It's not a dog.
I can't do that.
go-
Gypsy.
How do you
No,
call
right?
a horse?
How do you call a horse? Hey. Horsey.
You kind of cluck and kiss at it.
All right. Oh, that's a
And
good
this
looking
is my
horse.
horse trainer back here, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
What type
And
of horse
this
is
is my
that?
son, Jake.
Hey, thank you so much for bringing the horse into the house. It's in the house. No, it's not in the house, right? It's in the backyard.
It's
Look
in
at
the
that.
backyard.
That's like, what is that, like 18 acres it looks like?
I would say.
Right, I would estimate
pretty close.
18 acres right there.
If I've ever seen 18 acres,
Yeah.
looks just like that.
And he's eating your grass.
So now, what type of horse is that?
Yeah, she's eating. She's an Appaloosa.
No,
Appaloosa.
I told you. Beautiful. And what else does she eat other than the grass? Do they eat like meat?
No, they don't eat meat.
No?
Do you know that horses aren't indigenous to the United States? They were all brought here.
Really?
Yeah, I believe by the Spanish.
Nice. Oh, we lost her? Did we lose her, Bob? What's that? Did we lose her? Yeah, we just lost her.
All right.
All right, that's okay. We saw her.
Yeah, so that was more useless information. No, I believe they were...
Indigenous. You're throwing these long words at me. Indigenous. What does that mean?
I shouldn't use words I can't spell, right?
Yeah, that I don't know what they mean. Indigenous means what?
Living in the area.
Oh.
From.
All right. So we're still waiting for Christy McHugh to come in.
In L.A.?
She should be on any second if the timing works out. Pulling off one of the L.A. highways. What's the big L.A. highway out there? Train highway in the sunshine.
Do you really think their traffic is worse than ours?
Yes. Oh my God!
Really?
I was staying outside of LA once, and I had an interview inside of LA. I left at 4 a.m. I left at 4 a.m. It was only an hour ride. I
should have did this.
Yeah, I just wanted to get there. Not that I had to leave at 4. And that ride I was so.
Why?
Because I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy because they don't have like a transit system like we do. You know, so I think more people drive, and yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Wow.
Terrible.
The freeway.
Yeah. What else can I talk about here? We shot a pickleball commercial, by the way. Me and
I saw that.
You see the commercial?
I saw the behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. And my son hired me for the commercial, which means I'm not getting paid.
Okay.
Right? And he told me my lines. I said, all right, I'll do it. I'll put it on my reel, my acting reel. What are my lines? He says, you have no lines. I said, I have no lines. All right, what am I saying? You're saying nothing. Just stand next to Les. I go, will you see me?
He gave Les all the lines?
Les had the lines. And I said, will you see me? He said, we'll see the ball coming out of your hand. Oh, that's really not much. Will you see my hand? Well, we won't even see your hand. We'll just see the ball coming back off the paddle. And that was my lines. We got Christy McHugh, though. I see
Live from L.A.
We don't have a lot of friends in L.A.
Hey!
That's some car you have.
Oh my God!
Ouch! Aren't you on the highway?
No, I just pulled off. I knocked on a door, and they let me use their studio.
Oh, because see, you can get away with that. Joe and I would have been shot.
Probably.
In Brooklyn especially.
Oh, definitely.
Especially. I was just saying to her before, Rich Walker always looks at, he's not going to be here tonight. I can't make it.
Thank God.
And then he messaged me and he goes, how come all the hot comics are on for when I'm not on? Because we know what he'd be saying to her.
Obvious.
We got to be gentle. Look at the glasses. You are working some big clubs out there. I follow you.
You do? You're the one. You're the one.
I literally have come out when you don't know, and I follow you. No.
Thin line between follow and stalking.
And stalking, yes.
I love it.
That guy with the hood, that was me. So yeah, you're very funny. I followed you for a number of years now. We hope to be coming back out, Laughter Saves Lives, to be doing some
get out here.
And Christy McHugh will be on those shows.
Wow.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing on stage these days. Oh, wait, I had an intro for her. Hold on.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Very organized here. Hold on, Christy.
Professional.
Yeah, very, very organized here.
Do you like my Bokaboji hat?
What? Love
is
it.
That's where I'm from.
Where is that?
Iowa. Come on, man. How long have we known each other?
I've never been out of Queens. Are there any comics in LA that grew up in LA? Not many, right?
I don't know.
But not many, right?
I don't think
Everybody seems to be from somewhere else.
George Lopez.
Yeah?
Isn't he from L.A.?
He's from Mexico.
Let me give her intro.
Good.
Movies out. The Family Pickle, Pig Killer, Nightcaller, and shooting a new Jeff Ross movie. You know who Jeff Ross is? No, you don't.
No,
I do.
don't.
Next month. So you're doing stuff while I'm watching the freaking grandkids and doing nothing. No movies. No, I get commercials for my son for drugs. Drug trials. You're out there kicking butt, miss.
Drug trial? What?
Clinical trials. I shoot videos for clinical trials.
Oh my!
You have an articles like this, call this number, and I got to come on and do the commercial. Hey, if you have an articles like that's the best I get commercial-wise.
I thought you were doing medical testing. Like
No.
you need a couple of subjects.
I was like, I'll sign up for that.
No.
Free drugs?
No. So tell us a little bit about your shtick. Give us, some.
Can I just talk a little bit about mothers because of Mother's Day and everything that's going on with my mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, everything's repeating. How do I turn that off?
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna wait.
Wait, hold on 1 second. See if we can fix that.
Okay. Oh, it's better already.
Better already?
Oh my God, you fixed it.
See, I'm good.
Hold on. That might be my neighbor coming home. She's a large woman.
Bobby fixed it. That's up. Bobby owns the.
You fixed it. Perfect.
Great.
So my mom, God, it just sucks. I don't know if your parents are still with us, but it sucks when they get old, And she's in this assisted living, and she doesn't have dementia, but she's kind of got the forgetsies,
Yep.
Like, so I have a brother. He passed away like 20 years ago, and so his widowed wife has since remarried. She still comes to our family things. And so it was like a Thanksgiving. We're sitting around the table and the wife comes in with the new husband. My mom's sitting next to me and she goes, "What's she doing here with that man? What's your brother gonna say?" And I said, "Mom, I know." I just love my mom. And then, I am the youngest of 7. We have a big Irish Catholic family. And is it just me or when your families get together and they want to talk about the good old days? Or some of those days not all that great? Right?
Yeah.
Like my brothers are like, tell her the truth about tell her about how she was a mistake. I'm like, was I a mistake? She goes, "You all were." So thank you for that. My mom. So she's in this assisted living and there's like crime everywhere. Someone stole her teeth. They stole her teeth. Like what? Why would you do that? They're not going to fit. Like that's going to be an easy find. Anyway, this is no bet. This is just actually what's been happening. So she fell. She had to go and get surgery. And my whole family is there around the bed. And I have a sister. She's a nun. She's my oldest sister. She's a nun. And we always are like ribbing each other because she's not perfect. I don't care. You're a nun. You're not perfect. Bonnie. Her name's Bonnie. Anyway, so my mom's got the fentanyl. She's like flying high. She comes back in after the surgery and she goes, we're all around the bed. She goes, "Am I in heaven?" I go, "Mom, would Bonnie be here if you're in heaven?" Yeah, I don't know. My mom's great though. And then so this assisted living, it's got the cast of characters. I go in there and she's got this woman, Lily. And every day, I was there for like 14 days. I come back and you walk in, this woman's, "Hey lady, where am I? Hey lady, where am I?" I'm like, "Hi, I'm Christy. You're at St. Anthony's." Next day, "Hey lady, where am I?" I'm like, "Hi, I'm Christy. You're at St. Anthony's." She goes, "Well, where's my mom and dad?" I said, "Well, you're 90. I'm pretty sure they're with St. Anthony." Go over to my mom. I'm like, "Mom, what's up? What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, I took the Cadillac in to get washed, and because we went from that trip down to Mexico." I'm like, my mom's never owned a Cadillac, nor has she ever been to Mexico. But I'm like, you know what? Good for you. You took that trip and finally got the car you wanted.
She's watching some good movies.
Right?
My dad's in assisted care also. Christy,
what?
My dad's in assisted care.
Oh, okay. So you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And a few days after we put him in, I drove up 2 hours to Pennsylvania to watch the Met game. It was the playoffs, and it was the post game. And he says, "I'm going to go take a shower." Nobody told me I'm supposed to go into the bathroom with him and help him. Right?
Oh God!
Post game, and I hear a crash, right? And I'm watching the post game. I'm going, boy, they slam the doors loud around here,
Oh.
And then I go, wait a second. I open the door. You know the scene from The Wizard of Oz where the witch is under the house and you see 2 legs? Hanging out, like this. And I walk over and he's looking at me and he goes, I fell. I go,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You ruined the post game too, Dad. But
You're such a good son.
oh,
You know what's funny? You know, my mom was in assisted living, and when they're in there so long, they start to form cliques.
yes, gangs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, yo, you could be, they could be 3 of them sitting there, and all of a sudden Tessie comes walking in the walker, and they're going like this. We don't like her.
In front of her.
Yeah,
Nobody can hear.
Right, they're not hearing it.
Yeah.
We don't like her. And they just.
My mom. Can you be quiet over there? Turn that. Can you stop talking? They're real rude. Totally. But
is she far from you? Your mom?
What's that?
Is she far from you, your mom?
Yeah, like 1,500 miles. She's back in Iowa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. But I went back for when she had the surgery. I was like by her bedside like till 1 a.m. and I'm talking to my sister and we're just like talking about stuff like, it's, nobody's in the hospital or the hospital room at the time. And we were talking about how my dad wrote my mom love letters, not once a month, not once a week, every day. He wrote her a love letter.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm lucky if I can get a text, like pick you up from the airport. Like, what is going, why does that, well, I want the love letters. What happened? And what about, this went deep. I'm like, what happened to love songs? Like my sister, when she broke up with a boy, she would be listening to REO Speedwagon, like heard it from a friend who loves songs. What happened? Now I've got like, bitch better have my money, right? There's no love songs anymore.
Right.
What happened to the love songs?
Yeah. I get love notes. I just got one here. Make sure you take out the recycle this time.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's my closest to a love note, right? You get those.
Take something out for dinner.
Yeah. There's love involved there somewhere.
No, it's
John, you're married, right?
Yes.
Happily?
Yes. My wife is watching the show.
I'm teasing. Of course you're married happily. I don't know why you're sitting like this though.
Oh, I'm sorry. My son. You didn't see the beginning.
I didn't know if it was the love letters reference.
Yeah.
You need to write your wife love letters. You should do that. That's very sweet.
All right. I'll write one right now.
And
will you?
They were probably in script.
Let's help you write it.
Right, in script.
All right,
and the kids today can't even write script. Right?
No,
love letters in script.
No. My grandson with his homework, it's crazy. I mean, I would try to help him, and they have the problems like 2 times 12. He memorized all of those up to 12. She gave him one that you had to multiply 13. He blew up. His head blew up.
Wow.
I'm like,
wow.
How do you figure it out? He goes, I didn't memorize that one. Well, you got to figure it out. 13 times, right?
Right?
No, I digress. I'm sorry, Christy.
No. I like it. These are your grandkids?
Yeah, they were on in the beginning of the show, in fact.
Oh, awesome. I'm sorry I missed it. I was on the 405 because that's where we live in California. The 405 or the 5.
Yep.
That's why we have to have such nice cars here because we live in them.
I told you. Wouldn't you say it's worse out there than here, right?
So you obviously been to New York, and the traffic is worse in LA. I can't believe it. It's worse in LA than it is in New York.
It's horrible.
Yes.
Why? Not enough exits?
Because it's so spread out. We have so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have more? Do you have cabs? Do you guys Uber? Do you cab still? What do you do?
Yeah, a lot of Uber. Not too many yellow cabs anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a cab the other day. I'm like, what the hell? It was like seeing a dial-up phone or something.
Right, yeah.
Dial-up? Dial-up? What did I mean by that? I have no idea. You want to hear how my day was yesterday? Yeah. I go to Staples. I'm going in. I get some flyers made, right? I go in. I drive this soft top Jeep, right? Go in. I got the thing done. I come back out. I got all this shit in my purse. Can't find the keys. I look in. They're in the Jeep. Okay. So I have to put all my shit on the hood of the car, unzip it. Thank God I do yoga. So I climb in. People are thinking I'm stealing the vehicle. I'm like, dude, it's okay. Anyway, get the keys, get all my shit, throw it back in the Jeep, tear out of there. I hear crunch. $1,400 pair of sunglasses I just ran over.
Oh,
that was the day. That was the day.
We have 30 seconds, but that's why I don't wear anything expensive because I know I'm going to crush them. Over that.
$1,400.
I wouldn't spend $20 on a pair of glasses because I know I'm gonna.
Oh, they were a gift. Nevertheless.
Christy, where are you going to be this weekend or your next show?
I'm going to be at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach on my birthday, which is Friday.
Happy 29th birthday.
Thank you. Turning 25.
Right,
25.
10 p.m. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Have a great show. We got to go. Thank you so much for joining us.
Birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Freeway. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with some super guests, a Navy SEAL.
Really?
Good night. Laughter saves lives. Lives. We're going to the diner.